down the road on Tuesday evening, a 13-10 defeat at the hands of the Harvard Crimson. It was really a pretty back and forth game between BU and Harvard. Ultimately, Crimson just made a couple more plays. Terriers did not lead at any point in that game, but they do get the opening face-off and possession to begin things here this afternoon, and potentially a fast break immediately. Quick shot, and it's in. Terriers score just seconds in. It's Vince D'Alto. Took just 14 seconds for the Terriers to get on the board. It is Conor Calderone, the main face-off guy, wins the second straight face-off for the Terriers. Transfer out of Maryland, spent 2 years down in College Park before making his way north to Boston. Now is the main face-off guy. The Terriers right back in. Good save made. Beginning to the season, did go 7-0 in 2017. Now 6-1 after the loss to Harvard the other night in Cambridge. A back-and-forth affair. Mentioned earlier that Terriers did not have a lead in that game. Never were able to overtake the Crimson. Fought back to
times this season. Jake Cates, who have really stepped up. They have so many different weapons, so many different guys who can hurt you on offense.
Tough one for Ben Howard to handle in his second start this season, 5th appearance. Last appeared in that Rutgers game on March 15th. Gave up 22 goals, made 9 saves. Interestingly enough, the 2 starting goalies in this game, able to beat Matt Garber, who's had a stellar beginning to his season. Junior from Westport, Connecticut, 6-1 and 8.87 goals against average, 3rd best in the entire country.
But you know, Craig, going back to what you're saying about Matt Garber and his stats this season,
he talked about how much he really likes this team personally. Said there's been so much buy-in and they've been a lot of fun to coach. Did also end the scoring pace right now, averaging 14.5 goals per game, 2nd best offense in the conference to begin the day. Shot percentage hovering.
You know, Hillburn's one of the key distributors for the Terriers offensively, just setting things up. And you know, maybe that's not as flashy of a role as, you know, guys like, you know, Lay and D'Alto who do the scoring, but again, a key guy for them offensively. And Hillburn is back from, you know, the behind-the-back goal earlier, behind-the-back assist there.
Funny, one of the things that Harvard head coach Jerry Byrne mentioned to us earlier in the week on our chat with him was how much BU likes to employ behind-the-back passes, shots, acrobatic looks, one-hand takes. He said it's not something that he really teaches his group, meaning Harvard, but BU is very good at it, and they do it a lot, and we've seen that on display here in the first quarter.
Earlier, also, you can't just key in on those guys. You know, the Terriers, you know, have guys, you know, like Cates, who can make you pay if you focus in too hard on those 3.
Looked like the Leopards were going to come away with a face-off win, but a loose ball push sends it back to BU.
But, you know, we referenced some of their stats. As a defensive unit, you know, one of the best in the nation. You know, their goaltending play, again, such a week
in the loss to Colgate. He is their top-scoring midfielder. Another clean clamp, and it looked like a win, but a well-timed poke check jarred it low.
Passing game, and then D'Alto ripping one.
D'Alto, who had a hat-trick and an assist against Harvard Tuesday night, has got 3 goals and 5 assists on a program record. Former Terrier Chris Gray scored 9 points.
Some of the best in the country. You know, I think guys coming out of Maryland, maybe I'm a little biased saying this, but guys coming out of Maryland are more prepared for college lacrosse because the competition in high school is so good.
Excellent cross down there for sure. Look at Garber go all the way up towards midfield, something he's not shy about doing. Trey Brown collected it there at the 50-yard line. Has not been close to this point. And the one positive maybe on the Lafayette side is they did get 1 extra man opportunity. They scored on it. See if they can make this thing a little bit more respectable here in the second half, which is underway as Calderone gets the opening face-off of this half as well. That goes off of a maroon stick out of bounds, so he can rip it from all different spots on the field. D'Alto's 5th goal of the game, averaging almost 5 points per game coming into the day. That average, still a bit of an ability to score, even though he's made that transition primarily to defensive midi. But these are the kinds of games where you can get guys in unfamiliar spots, see how things work out. Good stick-to-itiveness by Calderone. Stick with that one. BU averaging 14.5 goals per game at a season-high output at Colgate in an 18-6 win.
It's a good way for them to, get their confidence back after the loss to Harvard.
Great clean clamp there from Calderone. And an efficient.
Regardless of the score, you don't want to get into bad habits. Whether it's in a blowout game, whether it's in a practice, again, you always want to play that fundamentally sound lacrosse.
Kniff. It's been the Vince D'Alto show here this afternoon. Now up to 45 points on the season. It's going to be a new career high. One behind team leader Coleman Cram as the top scoring midi, though, on his roster. Calderone took a shot to try to make the play. That face-off didn't appear to ever be released. Lehman spins out of it and then takes the punishment in a late
hard. Done finding the back of the net there. Now the Terriers lead cut to 8.
Face-offs 25-1. Calderone wins the clamp again.
I think that's pretty good, Craig.
High ratio. There's the second, though, so 25-2. Make it. The Leopards, I like that little spin away he had. Found the soft spot in the defense. Here comes Jama off to the races. Tried the underhand scoop pass.
Not going to happen. So they'll keep the starters out there. Lafayette starting to make it interesting.
So it's 4 straight, 6 of the last 7. My fault, not 7 of 8. But 4 straight I was correct on, and Calderone trying to end that. Calderone underhand makes the conservative.
Yeah, we've talked, earlier in the broadcast about how the Terriers have such a balanced offense and so many weapons. And
I think the stat line for D'Alto really highlights, again, not only his ability, but the ability of that threesome, the attack trio, Lay, D'Alto, and Perfetto, and their ability to both score and distribute. I mean,
to a degree overshadowed by what D'Alto's been able to do. Lay saying, "Remember me," burying that one. And yeah, Lafayette went on that run, scoring, 6 of 7 goals. But the Terriers have really bounced back.
Freshman Will Barnes from Virginia. We'll get a look between the pipes here in the final half of this 4th quarter. He tested early on. High pass. Rossi grabs it down. Lehman goes low.
Lay and D'Alto, he's like, okay, you're not going to keep an eye on me. I'm going to go off. Guys like him, face-off guy for the Terriers, it looks like it is. Can't see the jersey number yet. Looks like that is 27, Jax Popovich.
So Popovich gets a look on the face-off. Lafayette wins it. Now 10 different guys.